Hey guys, it's Arcade Jade here. Fun fact about this video I'm about to film is this is like my 4th time filming it because I have 0 camera experience and messed it up every other time, so yeah. I'm not too happy about it because the one video turned out great and it was perfectly edited and then the computer crashed. So welcome to my 4th attempt at filming this video. So as you can tell by the title of the video, this is going to be about the top 10 things I wish I knew about cosplay before I started cosplaying. Sorry if I'm like sweating and look gross. It is seriously so hot in my house and I really need to turn the air on, but I really kind of want to get this video done with. So I have a whole bunch of different people that follow me on different social media platforms, whether it be subscribers on YouTube or followers on Instagram, Twitter, people that like my Facebook page, things like that. So I know I'm not like a huge famous cosplayer, like I don't have millions of followers or anything like that, but I've been going to cons for about 5 years now. I do multiple cosplays a year, 90% of them I hand make. So this is just me talking about my experience and the 10 things I wish I knew before I started cosplaying. So number 10, time. Like, I guess this one's obvious because it's like, yeah, obviously cosplay takes time, especially if you make them. But like, I didn't realize how much time. When I first started cosplaying, it was like, I'm just gonna do it. And I would just wing absolutely everything. And honestly, that doesn't work. Now that I've been cosplaying for a couple years, it's a lot of like, okay, so you want to do this, so draw this out and plan this out and get a template for this and then start working on it this way, and then if you screw up, you know, you gotta make time to fix it. Time is a huge factor in cosplay, and that's kind of why I've been lacking on my YouTube channel, because I have been working on cosplay nonstop for no apparent reason. I haven't really been giving myself a break. I just make costumes to make costumes and I stay busy. Like, there's stuff I make that I don't even have a con to wear it to, I just make it. Cosplay takes up a lot of time, and it is a huge commitment. Speaking of commitment, that leads me to number 9, commitment. Who would have guessed? Yes, commitment. Commitment is a huge deal when you're a cosplayer. In my early cosplay days, I have started many costumes that I was not committed to and ended up never finishing. Or I've had ideas in my head that I never fell through with and never bothered to commit to. Commitment is a huge thing. You have to be semi-committed in order to do these costumes. If you're not, that's fine, but it's hard to like get things done and stay motivated when you're constantly giving up and doing new costumes. Don't get me wrong, I've done it many times where I've been like, oh, I'm gonna make this costume, and then I start and then I haven't ever finished. Look at my Poison Ivy. Like, I had Poison Ivy all planned out. I did the right time thing. I made a template. I followed everything through. I was really proud of myself. And then when it came to attaching every single leaf individually, I got so fucking bored so quickly that I just like didn't bother to do it. And that's where commitment comes in. You gotta commit to that time. You gotta commit to what you're doing and what you're making. Make sure it's how you want it and that you're happy with it. Number 8, expenses. Expenses. Cosplay is a very, 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 very expensive hobby. Whether you make the costumes, buy the costumes, commission the costumes, whatever you do, it's expensive. It's very hard to keep up with. Because honestly, I make most of my costumes, and buying the fabric, buying fabric paint, fabric dye, wigs, accessories, anything that I need to modify, it adds up. So even like if you hand make the entire costume, it's still gonna cost you money, and that's more time on your plate. Back to number 10, that's more time. Like, but even if you buy the costume, it's still gonna cost you money. You could buy one from like a Halloween shop or like Spirit Halloween or something and get like an okay one for an okay price if you do it on the off season. But if you want like movie quality, like say you're doing like a superhero and you want like the best of the best, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. Even stuff like wigs, like people don't think about wigs, but wigs are really expensive. Like if you want like a good quality wig that you can style and spike and braid and do whatever to, you're gonna want to spend a little bit more than getting like a cheap thin wig. Cosplay is expensive. It really does add up. I'm personally one to try and cosplay on a budget. I really like going to thrift stores, seeing what I can find, or like using like old clothes or like friends' old clothes, or basically whatever I can get my hands on. I am like one of the, I guess, cheaper cosplayers, but stuff still adds up. Number 7, the bathroom. So hear me out for a second. I know the bathroom sounds a little bit ridiculous, but I can tell you firsthand from different costumes that I've done that it is nearly impossible to use it. So I don't know about guys. I can't speak for guys, don't get me wrong, but I've done like full bodysuits that are all one piece that have like armor and stuff on top of them, and you have to take everything off and then have somebody unzip you to get to the bathroom. Or when I cosplayed Bowser, I had this massive tail that I was trying really hard to not dunk in the toilet. I highly recommend trying to think of like a way to make the costume functional that you could easily take it off. That's why I give people credit that do like full, like massive, like all armor costumes, because like even though I love them and would love to do one, I don't think I ever will, just because I have to go to the bathroom so often because I have the bladder of a 98-year-old woman. I just don't think I could do it. But it is cool to see. Like, I love people that do that stuff. That's so awesome, but that's not for me. I'm too old. I'm 23, but I'm old. So yes, always prepare for the bathroom. Number 6, con damage. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Basically what con damage is just from walking around the con, being bumped by other people, bumping into things, just wearing your costume, normal wear and tear, your costume gets destroyed. I've had con damage of all types. I've had people like full on like bump into the side of me and like ruin like my leg armor or something. I've caused people con damage because when I was Bowser I had a really big tail and I was like swinging it around and like hitting people, like my tail impression. Like I felt it, like I could feel the tail like swinging and I'd be like, I'm sorry, and then I'd try to turn it around and then I'd hit them with my shell. Your costume is probably gonna get beat up by the end of it. You might need to repair the brand new costume you just made. I wish somebody would have warned me the first time I went to a con, because my first con was New York City Comic Con. I wore Sonic the Hedgehog and like I kinda wasn't really prepared for how many people were actually gonna be there. So that costume got beat up real quick. It was still fun, like it was still worth it. Like I was able to fix it up and wear it again. Just be prepared for your costume to take a little bit of a beating, because it's gonna happen. If it happens, it's seriously not a big deal. Like it's okay. Every cosplayer ever has experienced con damage. I can guarantee it. Number 5, body paint and makeup. So if you guys have watched my other video, like my Rouge video, makeup's a huge thing to me with cosplay. Like I think like I love doing makeup in general, but I think with cosplay, makeup is like the icing on the cake. Like, that can complete any costume if you have the right makeup. What I do want to say about makeup, and or body paint, either one, is make sure you seal it correctly, and that you're wearing the right kind for the occasion. Like, if you're going to a con in the summer and you know it's gonna be hot, like, try to get waterproof makeup and then use a sealant on top of it, and a good primer, because, like, I love meeting people at cons. Do not get me wrong, I think it is the greatest thing ever. I love seeing other cosplayers, I love meeting new people, like I love just getting to know people. Like if they have unsealed makeup and they touch me and they get it on me and they get it on my costume, it's kind of like, dude, like, why? When I was Gardevoir, like, I was in a white dress and somebody like came up and was like, can I have a hug? And I was like, yeah, sure, like, I don't care. And I gave them a hug, but then like I had like all makeup like on the side and I had to try and like bleach it out of the costume without ruining the rest of the costume. Seal your makeup. It's the best advice I can give any new cosplayer, because I used to just do regular makeup when I'd cosplay. Now, I mean, when I say I have everything, I mean I have like the primer, the foundation, the concealers, like the highlight, like I go all out, and it's all because of cosplay. So just be prepared to seal that stuff. It helps you out and it helps out other cosplayers that you get to meet. Number 4, and this is a big one, do not compare yourself. When I first started cosplaying, that was a huge thing I used to do, was I used to look up these big cosplayers and be like, oh my god, like, they're so amazing, like, how do I make my costume even look half as good as that? And then I would get discouraged on what I was working on because I was like, well, it's not as good as, you know, this person's, or it's nowhere near as great as, like, this person, or the armor doesn't look as good as this person can do it. But if there's one thing I've learned about cosplay, that's not what cosplay is about. Like, it's not a competition. It's not supposed to be anything crazy like that. Like, it's for fun. Like, we're all cosplaying because we're all nerds together. In my opinion, personally, I believe that every cosplayer is unique and everybody has their own style. So I don't believe in comparing yourself to others. I understand if you want to improve your skill or get better at something. I think cosplay should be for that. Like, I think in cosplay you should be able to reach out to other cosplayers and be like, hey, you did a really good job on this. How do I do something similar? Like, what was your trick or your skill or whatever to help improve yourself? But overall, I don't think you should compare yourself. Like I said, it's not a competition, and it kind of breaks my heart when I see cosplayers. Sorry, my cat's meowing. Leah. Sorry, my cat is very vocal. And it breaks my heart when I see cosplayers give up on cosplay because they think they aren't as good as someone else. Like, I promise you, you are better than you think you are. You are your own worst critic. Hi, Leah. You want to say hi to the camera? Right in the middle of my video? This is my cat, Leah, guys. Isn't she precious? Yeah, that's Leah. So, she's the one meowing in the background if you can hear her. No. Cosplay. Can I talk? It's a skill like anything else. You gotta work for it. Practice makes perfect. Like, all the cliche sayings are true. Like, you just gotta keep trying. You'll get there. Like, even if you don't think you're as good as someone else, as long as you're happy with what you made and you're confident and you're having a good time, nothing else matters. People are still gonna appreciate the hard work you put into your costume. So number 3, and this kind of goes back to like 10 and 9, plan your costume. When I say you gotta plan things out, you gotta plan things out, like if you're making it from scratch, because I can guarantee you things will go wrong, things won't stitch right, something will break, you'll run out of this, whatever. Just try to plan it as much as you can to be prepared for when disaster happens, because disaster will happen. So what I personally like to do is I like to get like a list, which I usually keep on my phone. Put like, okay, these are the parts of the costume, this is the material I'll need for it. And then I go through what I already have and what I don't have. I try to be very organized with it. I'm generally not an organized person by any way, shape, or form, so it's a little hard, but I try. I really try. The best advice I could give to an upcoming cosplayer or somebody that wants to cosplay is really do try and just plan it out, like, and work on it section by section. Like, work on it like, okay, I'm gonna work on the wig and the horns and the ears for now, and then I'll start on the next part. And it's okay if you kind of like overlap it. That's what I do. Like, if I'm doing like when I did Daisy and I was doing like her armor and I was waiting for it to dry, I would go and like start styling her wig in the meantime and working on her flower and stuff like that. And like when me and my friend Zach made her minigun, we had the whole thing like planned out. We were like, okay, so this will go here, we think this will attach. Like, we really tried to plan it out as best as we could. So yes, take the time to plan out the costume. I guess I should have put this earlier on the list, but I didn't. I don't know why I wrote it in that order. You will thank yourself later when everything is laid out right in front of you. Number 2, not everyone will support you. I guess this sounds a little harsh, but it's true. Not everybody, whether it be people you know personally, like family, friends, or people that are on the internet, not everyone's gonna support what you do. I've learned the hard way that people that I consider good friends of mine literally don't give a shit about what I make. I don't know how else to put it without sounding terrible, but like some people just don't care. And honestly, like that's okay. Like not everyone is gonna support you, but it's the people that support you that matter. There are people out there that try to tear people down for no other purpose than to just bring them down a couple notches. It sucks not everyone's gonna support you. It would be great if we all support each other and we're all happy. But honestly, it doesn't work like that. I met other cosplayers that I thought were incredibly talented that I've walked up to and been like, hey, I love your costume, and they've literally looked at me and scoffed. That's just how some people are. I'm sure if you're up on cosplay drama, you know everything going on. But I will say that, like, there are people out there like that, and you just kind of got to be aware of it. A majority of the community is very supportive and will do whatever they can to make sure you are comfortable in the cosplay community. But there is a dark side to it, and that's where number 1's gonna go. Number 1, the dark side of the cosplay community. So again, 1 and 2 kind of go hand in hand with people not supporting you, the dark side of the cosplay community, but how do I put this without sounding terrible? Even though I love the cosplay community, like I genuinely do, I've met wonderful people through it, there is some people out there that are trash. I'm just gonna say it, they fucking suck. There's people out there that think just because you're cosplaying a sexy character, they're allowed to touch you. They think you can't cosplay because of your skin color or because of your weight. Like, there is all different shit that goes on behind closed doors. What I'm trying to get at is, even though the cosplay community is wonderful, there is a dark side to it. It's kind of hard to avoid. Like, for the most part, people are generally good. Like, I really have met amazing people, and I've made amazing friends through cosplay. Like I said, if you're up on cosplay drama, you know about the recent sexual assault cases. Probably know about the racism that goes on in it, the sexism, like all this different stuff. And like nothing breaks my heart more than seeing a cosplayer that I admire be told on like Instagram, like you're too fat or you're too dark or you're too this or you're too that to cosplay that character. Like I want to know what entitles someone to think they can tell someone what they can or can't cosplay. Like cosplay characters because we like the character, not because we look like them. You're too dark to cosplay this character, or you're too big, or you're too whatever. Like shut the hell up. Like you have literally no room to talk. Like why are you shitting on someone else's fun? We're just trying to enjoy the con. We enjoy the character. Leave us alone. I don't know. I can go off about this literally all day about how much it pisses me off. But like, You know, it doesn't matter if you're binary, non-binary, if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter what you identify as, anything like that. Like, just be you. Cosplay who you want. And just be yourself. Make the character your own. Like, that's the fun of it. I don't like how these people are coming around telling people they shouldn't cosplay or be a certain way. Like, I don't agree with that at all. That's not what cosplay stands for. And as far as I'm concerned, people like that don't belong in the cosplay community. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end my rant there before I piss myself off more. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like this video, if you want to see more cosplay videos, anything like that. And don't forget to check out my other social medias like Instagram and Twitter, which will be in the link below. And yeah, guys, I'll see y'all soon.
Minecraft Steve wouldn't be doing this.
Probably not. Minecraft Steve has no fucking balls.
Yeah, he does. They're square.
Knew you were gonna say that.